afternoon, everyone, and warm welcome to today's Regenesis School webinar titled Why an MBA is South Africa's #1 Path to Leadership and Career Growth. My name is Beatrice Komani, and I'm delighted to host you on behalf of Regenesis Business School. At Regenesis, our vision has always been to unlock human potential, and there's no better example of that than the MBA journey. Today, we'll explore how this qualification continues to shape leaders, transform careers, and open doors across industries. And ladies and gentlemen, let's start with the simple truth. Leadership today looks very different from what it did 10 years ago. We live in a world of disruption. We live in a world of uncertainty and rapid change. Organizations are looking for leaders who can think critically, who can manage complexity and drive transformation. Well, to take us through the MBA program details, including the structure, the modules, duration, and entrance criteria, is our very own academic head, Dr. Rajesh Sharma. Dr. Rajesh is one person who is extremely passionate about human development. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Rajesh. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. And again, I welcome all the delegates to today's masterclass. You know, it's on why an MBA in South Africa is the #1 path to leadership and career growth. Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to welcome you to today's masterclass on a topic that is not only close to my heart, but also highly relevant in today's fast-changing world. Why an MBA in South Africa is the #1 path to leadership and career growth. My name is Dr. Rajesh Sharma, and I serve as the academic head for the PDBM and MBA program at Regenesis. I have been with this business school for almost 11 years now. Over the next hour, we will explore how a Master of Business Administration is more than a qualification. It's a transformational journey. We will discuss how it equips you with the strategic insight, leadership skills, and emotional and spiritual intelligence required to navigate volatility, technological disruptions, and a world where change is the only constant. Whether you are aspiring to lead teams, scale your career, or build a future-proof skill set, this session will provide insights and perspectives to help you think differently about leadership, growth, and the role of an MBA in shaping your future. So let's begin this journey together. Towards the end, we will have a quick Q&A round where your queries, your challenges, your thoughts will be more than welcome. During the presentation, if you really want to chat, you can use the chat function. Or if you really feel that you want to provide some inputs, you can always raise your hand. But we would like you to please keep yourself on mute when you are not giving your inputs. So, welcome to this masterclass. Today, we explore the transformative power of an MBA in developing leadership skills, navigating volatile markets, and preparing for a future-proof career. We will also discuss how conscious leadership, emotional and spiritual intelligence are integrated into the MBA journey. Level 9 qualification. Now there are two things here. It's a master's level qualification in business administration. Now let's talk about first thing first. Today's environment is very disruptive, volatile. Everybody is talking about, artificial intelligence is going to change the scenario totally. People are talking about my job may be taken away by AI. So many new things are coming up. How do we find a qualification that is future-proof in today's time? Whether your skill set will still be relevant 5 years down the line. All those things may be coming up in your minds. I think every individual, in fact, should think about this. What is going to happen? Is there a qualification on which we can rely ourselves? What are those qualifications? Let's see what is an MBA. Whatever changes that comes to the industry, to the economy, to the country, one thing is very clear. There will always be business, and we will always need leaders and business leaders to lead these businesses, to manage these businesses. The way business is done may change. Artificial intelligence may take over so many things, but still we need people to manage businesses. We need leaders. We need conscious leaders, in fact. We need people who can guide this process. And that is why MBA is such an important qualification, which is future-proof. Please try and see the business environment. It will change, but what will not change is the business. There will always be businesses, and they will always need leaders to run these businesses. And MBA is a qualification which prepares you, which gives you those leadership skills. Specifically, when I talk about Regenesis, we believe in developing conscious leaders. And that's why MBA is such an important qualification. It is future-proof, believe me. Believe me, it's a future-proof qualification. Whatever things might change, this will still remain. If you are a good leader, if you are a good manager, if you have a good critical strategic thinking, you will still be required, whatever times may come. And that's why we have chosen this topic for today's masterclass. The power of the MBA qualification. If you think about the power of the MBA qualification, the MBA is a globally recognized qualification at NPF Level 9, equipping professionals with strategic thinking, leadership, and analytical skills. If you talk about artificial intelligence or any new technology to come, they cannot think strategically. It will be difficult to lead consciously. To analyze, okay, you may have got the data. Systems and technology can analyze it for you. To make a decision based upon data, to analyze it, we require people. And that's where MBA becomes such an important qualification. It prepares individuals to manage complex organizations, drive innovation, and lead teams effectively in uncertain environment. You think about organization, how complex are they becoming? Hybrid mode of working. There are some people who are working from home. Some come to the office. There is a hybrid mode going on from the time we have seen COVID, since 2019. It's a different world. Innovation is driven in every industry. You need to innovate or you die. That's what they talk about in the corporate world today. If you are not able to drive innovation, maybe you may become obsolete as a company, as an industry. You need to continuously innovate, come out with new things, new ideas. We saw so many industries in the past, they were not able to innovate. And that's why, where are they? We had not seen companies like Netflix before, Airbnb. There's so many examples. Uber, these are leading examples of some companies which drove innovation. Now think about any hotel chain of the world and try to compare their financial results with Airbnb. Even Hilton hotels with properties in billions. But what is the turnover? With billions of property, what is your turnover? And then comes a platform-based business model, which takes over everything. What is that? It's innovation. Who drives innovation? It's the people, it's the managers, it's the leaders. And that is why, if you think about MBA, they have got a module called innovation. at Regenesis, we have this module called innovation. We talk about this, how to innovate. What are different kinds of innovation? People talk about disruptive innovation a lot, which was proposed by Clayton. But then what do you do with that? You should be the company who should be driving the disruptive innovation, or what happens if there is another company and you are the affected company? All these things, when you run through this module, you will understand. And then leading the team effectively. How do you lead effectively? How can you become a good leader, an effective leader, a conscious leader? You need to practice leadership day in and day out. There are certain leadership skills you might be born with, but you can always learn leadership skills. Try to practice it. Hone your skills. And we all know our environment is very turbulent. It's very uncertain. What new tariffs will come on you, you don't know. A new world leader can come in and disrupt everything, not just for one country, but for almost every other country. To prepare yourself in such an environment, what we need is a qualification that is future-proof. So it's MBA not just a qualification, It gives a holistic development of an individual as a professional. Horizon, it broadens your thinking, it broadens your thought process. A rapidly changing world. Today's business environment is characterized by rapid technological advancement, AI integration, and market volatility. It's changing very rapidly. If you think about AI and automation, you think about one thing, and that's continuous skill development. Unless we have continuous skill development, we cannot survive. But one thing is there which can help you survive, and that is your leadership skills. You can try and understand what is the latest in the environment, but then if you are able to see the disruptive industries of the past, there were many industries which are not there now. New industries which have grown very fast. Think about Amazon as a company. They have almost overtaken Walmart as a retail company. How come this is possible? Look at the kind of automation they have in their company. Look at the warehouses. How do they manage the warehouses? But again, look at the word manage. Who manages? It's the leaders, it's the managers. So there will always be need for managers and leaders. Think about the retail space. Think about any other company. Innovations are there. Who leads innovations? You need leaders, managers. And that's why I think in this rapidly changing world, one thing remains constant. Skills that are in demand today may become obsolete tomorrow, isn't it? Many skills we feel might become obsolete. But there are certain soft skills, leadership, your empathy, your teamwork, critical thinking, innovative mindset. These are some soft skills which as a leader, as a manager, you possess. This will not become obsolete. And that is why I think you might be having any basic qualification, but I think you need an MBA so that you can future-proof yourself. 10 years, 15 years, 5 years into your career, you might be an engineer. You might be a software engineer. You might be a mechanical engineer. You might be an arts graduate, a legal graduate. Yes, you need those specific skills for your industry. But as you move higher up in the ladder, in the hierarchy, You want to move into that C-suite, isn't it? Those executive positions. What do they need? They need the skills which you can learn in an MBA program. So whatever is your basic qualification, I think an MBA can always add a lot of value to your basic qualification. Think about it. You should always think about it. Try to future-proof yourself. Navigating this landscape requires adaptability and continuous learning. You need to upskill, reskill yourself in the basic skills that you have. In addition to that, if you have got a qualification which is future-proof, nothing like it, you can remain rest assured. Why? Because you know you have a qualification which is future-proof. Future-proofing your career. How are you going to future-proof your career? Regardless of technological disruption, businesses and organizations will always require effective management, Now, if you think about leaders, and please remember there is a difference between a manager and a leader. All managers are supposed to be leaders. But what you find is rather, there are leaders which are not managers. But a manager to be effective needs to be a good leader also. And that's why, organization prepare their leaders for uncertainty, If you just think about a project, say, for example, there is a company, there is a new project for the company. They want to open a new store, for example. They want to enter into a new geographical country. What do? They prepare a team, which you can call as a project team. And what do? They call people, from different functional areas, finance, IT, marketing, operations, and from different fields. But you look at qualification that can give you all of this is MBA. That's where in the project teams, definitely you'll find people, who are trusted, who are called upon again and again. Is maybe you are a BTech, but with an MBA. With specialization maybe in operations and supply chain, in project management, in finance, in HR, in marketing. So generally a project team will have people from all these different functional areas coming together, working on this project. The project comes to an end, they go back again to their functional area, wait for another project. Another project comes, they do the same thing. So the skills that an MBA gets, they need those transferable skills. Because you have the finance skills, but there is a new project. You can always go and apply your finance skills. What will be the return on investment? Should we really invest in that project or not? Will it be from a marketing perspective, will it be a viable option? Now that's where, you become a holistic kind of a manager. You have an overall picture of the entire organization because you know everything about it. From all different perspectives, whether it's marketing, finance, HR, IT, you understand. And that is what companies need in their leaders. Somebody who can understand the entire business, not just one functional area, that can make you reach the executive positions. That's where people, doesn't come with a static mindset that, oh, I belong to marketing, I belong to finance, I belong to HR. No. You should belong to the organization. You should think about organization as a whole. And that's where MBA is very, very helpful. And MBA ensures that professionals acquire skills that remain relevant allowing them to future-proof their careers and maintain leadership positions. And I've seen that when as an academic head, I take interviews of people who would like to pursue MBA with Regenesis. When I interview them as a part of a process, I talk to them. Why do they really want to do MBA? And I find most of the times they want to move up in the hierarchy for the career growth. That's the first reason I think I found. The other reason is to definitely have the kind of skills which are required at the leadership positions. So leadership, career growth, all these are given some of the basic reasons why people want to do MBA. They're already doing good. They're senior managers. Sometimes they are even CEOs, managing directors, entrepreneurs. They are doing good in their professional life, but they want to do MBA. They do not want to leave any stone unturned. They want to find out, okay, I should have strategic management skills. I should have leadership skills so that I can manage my team better. I should lead my team better. I should have that emotional and spiritual intelligence in myself to lead my team consciously. How do you go? How do you go there? Get a good MBA qualification. We will take, your comments in the chat. We will try to answer that at the end of the presentation. So please bear with us. The essence of a leadership in a dynamic era. A leadership today requires conscious awareness, emotional intelligence, and spiritual intelligence. These are not mere words. These are not mere words, I tell you. To be really successful, to have a team that stays with you, you need all this. Effective leaders inspire teams, foster collaboration, and drive organization towards success, even in volatile environments. You should be able to inspire your team, isn't it? When everything is fine, it's good to be a leader. But when things are not going fine, can you really inspire your team? That's a true leader. Can you get collaboration from everybody? In today's time, it's the collaborative environment that is the most successful. The top-down approach doesn't work. It's not that the decisions are only taken in the boardroom and everybody else has to follow. No. That kind of leadership is no more effective. And that's where you need leaders who inspire their team and foster collaboration. Let me give you an example. Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, is a prominent personality you might be aware of. Is a prominent example of a leader who leveraged emotional intelligence to transform a company's culture. When Nadella became CEO, Microsoft had a competitive and internally focused culture. Everybody was focusing on himself or herself. How can I do my best? He prioritized empathy, collaboration, and a growth mindset, encouraging employees to learn from mistakes rather than fearing them. You cannot grow. You cannot contribute something great if you have a fear that the moment you make even the smallest of the mistakes, you will run into trouble. Everything was changed. Collaboration, growth mindset, that is what Nadella did. Nadella focused on understanding and connecting with employees and customers, shifted Microsoft direction, revitalizing the company's morale and overall performance. So that's how an inspiring leader like Satya Nadella, we know he's the CEO of Microsoft. There are several other examples. I only gave one of those examples. It's not that, it's a very big company, Microsoft, do they really need? Yes, every company needs to grow. The growth mindset has to be there. So right from the CEO to everybody else, to every other manager and leader, that growth mindset was inculcated. And that's where you feel that, emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence are such a great importance for managers and leaders of today. And if you look at Regenesis Business School, we prioritize emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence. We have a module called Personal Mastery, which no other MBA qualification in the country may provide, which talks about emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence, even physical, financial intelligence. Would you not like to be part of a program which says, okay, fix a financial goal for yourself? How are you going to achieve that goal? We are going to assist you. You are not physically fit. Set a goal for yourself. We will live that dream with you. Set an objective, set a target. See how can you achieve your physical fitness. That's physical intelligence for you. Now, where do you find such kind of things in a program? That's what we at Regenesis really do. Emotional and spiritual intelligence in leadership. Emotional intelligence enables leaders to understand and manage their own emotions as well as those of their teams. So it's not just about understanding your own emotions. The most important part is understand the emotion of your team. A team member might not have been able to perform, not able to achieve the targets. You can easily, as a leader, go and talk, you are not been able to achieve your targets. And and there can be another leader who says, okay, let me find out the reasons why he or she has not been able to achieve the targets. Sometimes you may find that the other person's personal life is in turbulence. He's going through a lot in the personal life, and that is affecting his work. As a leader, have you ever tried to talk to that person, guide him, motivate him? That's what an emotionally intelligent leader would do. And I tell you, those small talks, small discussions, maybe, a discussion over a cup of coffee, and half an hour discussion, 1 hour discussion, informal discussions. I tell you, it can do wonders for the team members. Similarly, spiritual intelligence provides a sense of purpose, ethics, and mindfulness that guides decision and inspires people. Every company, every organization has a vision, isn't it? And a mission. I tell you, many a time, employees are themselves not able to understand the vision and mission. They don't know. They feel, okay, I'm part of this company. I'm working here for a salary. What have I to do with the company's vision and missions? No. Every employee is an important link in the company. Each and every employee is equally important in every organization. There is a purpose why you are there in an organization. There is a purpose of the organization also. When your purpose and the organization purpose are aligned, success is bound to achieve, and employees are bound to be happy. So, and every employee, when they are ethical and when they see their leaders are ethical, they follow the path. So inspiring people with this kind of a sense of purpose and ethics, you require that kind of an intelligence. If you want to know more about this, yes, we have a module on that also as part of MBA program. Now, if I can ask a question, how can you apply EQ or SQ today at your workplace? You can please answer that in the chat box. How do you think you can apply EQ and SQ today at your workplace, wherever you are working, or wherever you plan to work in the future? How do you think you can apply emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence? How can you do that? Just maybe you can indicate in the chat box, think for yourself, how can you really do that? And I tell you, in today's time, if you really want to be successful leader, a manager, if you really want to be successful in your job, in your career, you need to be emotionally and spiritually intelligent. Practice this, I tell you, you will be so happy and you will be so successful, you cannot even imagine. Believe me, trust me, this is something which is really working in today's time. The MBA advantage, the skills for the future. We have talked about there are so many different kinds of skills which may become obsolete in the future. But an MBA develops a holistic skill set, including strategic thinking, critical analysis, communication, financial literacy, and innovation. And also, if you look at the figure here, there are various other things provided like finance, EQ, SQ, innovation, entrepreneurship, HR, IT, finance, marketing, operations, strategic thinking. There are multiple skill sets that you can have as an MBA graduate. And these are the skills which doesn't become obsolete. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that great? You have a set of skills which are not going to become obsolete. What can happen is maybe you require an additional training or something to upskill yourself, but these are not going to become obsolete, I tell you. Believe me, these are a wonderful set of skills. Graduates are equipped to tackle complex challenges and lead organizations effectively. Now, as an MBA, if you look at the entire MBA qualification, you see there are so many different kinds of skills. And even while you are doing this program, you practice. Why? Because if you see most of the MBA program and the modules, the kind of assessments that are there and the classroom discussions, they are scenario-based, case study-based, real-life case studies, and scenarios for future are presented. And then you are asked to think about that scenario. If you were the manager, how are you going to act and react? You practice a lot in different functional areas. You understand, okay, there is a strategy for the overall organization. How do I align my overall strategy with the functional departments like finance, HR, IT, operations? Is there alignment required? How can I align? All this is part of strategic management, I tell you. You have a vision of the company, but how do you achieve vision? Some of the people might think in the organization, no, it's not my job to think about the vision. No. There is a vision, and to accomplish that vision, how are you going to accomplish that? You need some strategies. Then, okay, what are long-term strategies? What are short-term strategies? How do you align this? How do you evaluate your strategies? How do you implement your strategies? There is one part that is people who know about this have a brief knowledge about this. And on the other side, there is an MBA from a good institution like Regenesis, who understood that, okay, how do I set my vision? How do I develop my strategies to achieve that vision? How do I align my short-term strategies with the long-term strategies? How do I develop my strategies? How do I implement my strategies? How do I evaluate my strategies? Because if what happens if strategies are not working, you need an evaluation, isn't it? All this is part of strategic management. A wonderful, wonderful module, and the way it is, we deliver that module is interactive discussions, scenarios, case studies, video links, links to articles. A lot of things goes into that. Podcasts, link to podcasts also. What do you think we are doing here? We are preparing the future leaders with a set of skills which are the need of the hour and which will never become obsolete. So we are preparing for those complex challenges in the future. So these are some unique advantages of the MBA program. Now, I hope there is no other qualification which can really be as future-proof as MBA. MBA and career growth in South Africa. And MBA doors opens your doors in corporate, entrepreneurial, and public sectors. Whether you want to work for a company, an organization, or you want to start your own enterprise, you want to start your own business, or you want to enter public sector, and MBA is going to really help you a lot. Corporates do welcome MBAs. They know these people are ready. They know how businesses are run. They know the technical part of it. They understand the scenarios. They understand the holistic picture of the organization. That's why they are welcome. And same is the case if you want to be an entrepreneur, because you have got holistic knowledge of how a business runs, definitely you can start your own enterprise. And we have seen so many people who have graduated start their own enterprise and become highly, highly successful as entrepreneurs. We encourage that a lot. And then even in public sector, in executive positions, they require people with a qualification that helps them understand the business. Even public sector. I tell you, I have been doing corporate training for some wonderful organizations in South Africa, including ESCOM, South Africa National Space Agency, private companies also like Mesmart, Mercedes, Spar, to name a few, And what I've seen is people just become excited when they try and understand what an MBA qualification and the skills that are provided can do. They find it so wonderful that how they can align the entire organization as a team. What is the binding force? Strategy. Strategy can be that binding force. But how do you implement it? How do you develop it? How do you incorporate the suggestions of all the different stakeholders? Whether they are workers, lower level managers, middle level managers, senior level managers, executive positions, all are different stakeholders. How do you get the opinion and perspective of everybody? And that's where there is something called stakeholder analysis. That also we do as part of one of the modules in strategic management. That how do you really manage different stakeholders? It accelerates the career progression. Why? Because the more senior you become in an organization, the more, you are expected to lead the teams. Organizations want you to be conscious leaders who can lead the team towards success, towards growth. Enhances earning potential. Obviously, if the higher in hierarchy you move, your earning potential improves. And develops a network of professionals critical for leadership success. A network of professionals, you remember one thing. If you go to LinkedIn or any other social media platform in today's time, we are talking about not about personal social media platforms, but especially the professional social media platforms like LinkedIn. You go there and you find you can develop your network like anything. If you are able to share something important, relevant, if you are really want to share something, I tell you, the doors are open for you. You can develop a wonderful network, and I tell you, the bigger the network, the better for you. But you cannot just enter that network unless and until you yourself have shown that you are a true leader. You show your worth to other professionals. They will value you. They will invite you to discussions. And it again opens doors for success, for your career growth. Just go and search. You know how many recruitments are done through LinkedIn. You will come to know the importance of this social media platform. And to be successful on that platform, you need to have good qualifications. You need to contribute to that, to that social media platform. I'm not advocating for LinkedIn, but I'm talking about any other professional social media platform that you might be using. You yourself might be having your own goals, isn't it? So can you write in the chat box, what are your career goals? Obviously, nobody will have a career goal, not to succeed, not to be a leader, not to be a manager, to be successful. Everybody would like, to become the executive level manager, isn't it? You want to be in the top team. You want to be in the boardroom, isn't it? So what are your career goals? If you can type in the chat box, it will be great. But I tell you, you type that in the career goals and then try to see, okay, if that is my career goal, that's my dream. How do I achieve my dream? So you have a dream now. You need to set, your dream is set. What is required to achieve your dreams? Think about it. Think about it from what we have discussed today. Whatever we are discussing today, just think in those terms. Because whatever your career goals are, maybe 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, what you want to achieve, what you want to become. Do you have the right set of skills, qualification, which are future-proof also, which might not be disrupted also? Think about it, and I'm sure you will be able to take a good decision that, yes, what is the importance of an MBA qualification to help achieve your career goals? I do not know what your career goals are, but please try and see if you have the right set of skills and knowledge to achieve your career goals or not. Think in terms of an MBA qualification. Global relevance of the South African MBA. South African MBA programs are recognized internationally if they come from a good institution like Regenesis. Because Regenesis is a global institution in itself, having presence in different continents, offering networking and career opportunities worldwide. Graduates are prepared to lead in global organizations and handle cross-cultural challenges. South Africa, we know, is a rainbow nation. We already come from, different backgrounds, cross-cultural. We understand what is cross-culture. But at the same time, I tell you, even global organizations need the same. Regenesis being a global institution further adds to this. You may find the facilitator, the lecturers coming from different cultural backgrounds, different countries, different qualifications, very experienced. Like if you see myself, I come with a 7 to 8 years in experience in the industry, working for multinational companies and more than 18, 19 years into academics. So that's how you find, people at our institution with that sort of a cultural mindset. But yes, South African MBA is definitely got a global relevance. So you should not be worried whether a program is recognized or not. 100%. I'm talking about Regenesis. I cannot talk about every other institution present in the country, but yes, most big programs you will find have got global relevance. Building conscious leaders. Conscious leaders are self-aware, ethical, and purpose-driven. They mentor others, make informed decisions, and inspire their team to achieve collective goals. That is what is really, really required. They are purpose-driven. And I tell you, we have a module called Conscious Leadership. Can you believe this? Not just leaders, but conscious leadership is a module at Regenesis. So we understand what is required in the industry, what is required, and that's why we try to build those conscious leaders. The holistic nature of the MBA journey. And MBA is more than academic learning. It fosters personal growth, as you would have seen with the different kind of modules and the discussion that we had so far. Self-awareness. You need to be aware of yourself. You need to set your career goals today. You cannot, keep doing what you are doing and do not set a goal for yourself. Sometimes there are some people who enter into mid-career crisis, midlife crisis. What I do next? I'm already 45 years of, 45 years, okay, still have wonderful life ahead. Get a qualification which will get you at the executive position. Professional transformation, your entire thought process can change, I tell you. What is really required is a good institution to get a good MBA qualification. Leaders are developed holistically, prepared to handle both the business and human challenges. And that's where, leadership becomes so important. And it's such an important part of MBA qualification. Success stories, MBA graduates that are leading the change. Graduates have launched successful ventures, assumed executive roles, and driven organizational transformation. In my 11 years at Regenesis, I've seen people who were cleaners, I tell you, cleaners, who started their journey doing maybe a certificate course, and then they went on, did their undergraduate, did their postgraduate, and even did their MBA and are doing wonderfully well in the corporate world today. This is the extreme journey that I've seen. I've seen people from middle management moving to higher level of management. They made a conscious decision, I want to do MBA. I want to change myself. I need this qualification. Their stories demonstrate how the MBA equips leaders to make a real impact. I've seen MBA graduates starting their own organizations. I've seen that growth. I've seen people even working in the public sector, doing their MBA, and then having a great success in their career. Why somebody in the public sector would think about an MBA? Because they are really concerned about their department. Because they are concerned about the service delivery part. May not be a product delivery in public sector, but service delivery is definitely there. How can you improve service delivery? There are various ways to do that as well. Now, I would like to reflect upon you, all of you, to think about what leadership qualities do you believe will define the next decade? We see the changes that's happening around us. Can we just think about this? What leadership qualities do you believe will define the next decade? And I tell you, we have already discussed the answer of this question, but just as a reminder, just to reflect back upon what we have discussed in the last 50 odd minutes. You can think about this, write in the chat box. What will happen is this will go, when you write something, when something comes in black and white in front of you, sometimes, that gets an imprint in the mind as well. And I want you that should be imprinted in your mind. That this is what is required. Then how do I get that? Think about it. Is there a program? Can I align my MBA qualifications for that? Think about it and take an informed decision. The future belongs to the prepared. Leaders who continuously learn, adapt, and anticipate change will shape the future. An MBA equips professionals with the tools, mindset, and network needed to succeed in the evolving industry. You need to continuously learn. You might be already at a very good position. As I told you earlier, we have seen so many of our MBA graduates who are already working as directors, CEOs, CFOs, CEOs. Why do they come to do an MBA with us? Because they want to learn, adapt, and anticipate the change. They want to be future-proof. They want to be ready for the future. They want to upskill. They want to reskill. And that's where I think they are doing the right thing. You need to be prepared for the future. Do a qualification which prepares you for that. And that's why I told you, you might be having any basic qualification, but if you are looking for a master's qualification, there is nothing like MBA. I tell you, it was important in the past, it is important today, it will remain important for the future. It will remain relevant. Relevance will never go. It is never going to become obsolete. So, if you look at the key takeaways from today's session, an MBA combines leadership, conscious awareness, adaptability, and strategic skills. It is a holistic, future-proof qualification that empowers professionals to lead with purpose and impact. So, that's what is MBA all about. And that is why we say that MBA is a qualification for the future. It is future-proof, and that's where, our topic also went, why an MBA in South Africa is the #1 qualification which will help for leadership and career growth. I think there is no other qualification like that. Think about it, guys, I think, and we are here to assist you, guide you, motivate you, and take your queries and questions, if any you have. As an academic head, it's my proud privilege to welcome you all, guys, if you want to join Regenesis. Thank you so much for attending this masterclass, and if there are any questions or queries, I will invite Beatrice again here. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome, guys. Please come ahead with your questions. And thanks for attending today's session. I hope you enjoyed this.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rajesh, for that insightful presentation. I personally enjoyed it. You asked a question earlier. There's been some interesting responses there. Please allow me the opportunity to go through those responses. You asked, how can you apply EQ and SQ today? So some of the responses that I see there on the chat box, we'll go through them, where the first one was from Cheryl Duplessis, by displaying empathy is what she said. Sia then said, great insights, Dr. Rajesh, thanks to Regenesis Business School. Indeed, this is awakening potential. Thank you very much, Sia, for that lovely compliment. Nadia said, by listening to your employees, listen to their problems and guide them. Yasmina said, I used to use employees' birthdays to understand their personalities. It worked well for me with nearly 1,000 people in a company, as everyone is unique and needs to feel included. Well said, Yasmina. I couldn't agree more. Sia once again said, I can apply EQ and IQ by making sure that in all my engagements I lead with empathy. Tamana said, looking at colleagues or team members as human beings instead of potential. This might bring our natural skills and abilities that may be more beneficial to the company in the long run. Tato Sekhote then said, EQ, pay attention to your emotions and how they affect your actions. If you feel stressed about a test, take a moment to breathe and calm down before reacting, and be kind to yourself and to others. Encourage a friend who seems down. SQ, be aware of how others feel. If someone seems upset, ask if they're okay. Listen more during group discussions and respect everyone's opinions. Build better relationships by being friendly, helpful, and open to teamwork. Yasmina highlighted their inclusion in project management makes everyone involved and not feel scheduled in decision making. Well said, colleagues. Yasmina Janssen said, once again, core principle, inclusion ensures every team member feels seen, heard, and valued, not just consulted, but co-authored in the decision-making scroll. I had 75% production improvement. Amazing stuff, where everyone contributes, becomes co-author, not bystander. Bongani Moyo said, career goals to be asset of change, where in my position, I will be able to transform businesses to greatness, inspire ideas, motivate teams and individuals. Yasmina said, by actively monitoring skill sets, you create a ceremonial ledger that reveals gaps, strengthens and future training needs, ensuring everyone co-author evolves with the project, not just perform within. Thank you so much, Itumeleng, for your compliment. We truly enjoyed your insights, Dr. Rajesh. It's a compliment there from Itumeleng Tlala. Thank you for the great insights. Cheryl, thank you. It's only a pleasure. Thank you, everyone. There is a question also there from Nkosimpile Kumalo. She asked, how can one qualify to get a bursary or scholarship to study? To answer your question, Nkosimpile, kindly note that currently Regenesis does not have any external bursaries, but we do accept external bursaries, meaning if you have any bursary from any entity, any department, any municipality, you are more than welcome to bring the bursary to Regenesis. We can use that bursary to get you accepted into the program. There's a question from George Modau, Dr. Rajesh. I think this one is for you. Who qualifies to study MBA and from which NQF level?
Okay. I think you need to have a NQF level 8 qualification. But in case, you do not have an NQF level 8, but got a lot of experience, then you may be RPL if you even have an NQF level 7, but you need to have at least NQF level 7, and with good experience, you may be RPL into MBA. Otherwise, you will require an NQF level 8 qualification.
Thank you for that, Dr. Rajesh. Nadia, she asked, will we be able to get some sort of proof that we attended this webinar? Nadia, it has been recorded and it will be posted on our different social media platforms. I think from my end, Dr. Rajesh, I'd like to just highlight a few things. I think personally, this is the best time for people who really do want to secure their spaces for 2026. One thing that comes out of my mind, or that really really resonates with what you've said, is leadership begins with a decision, and the decision to invest in yourself. And now should be the time for people to make those wise decisions to develop in themselves. So I was going to ask you, Dr. Rajesh, as to what is different about Regenesis MBA program compared to other institutions. And I think you highlighted that in your presentation. We truly, as a higher education institution, are passionate about human development, because the way you word it in terms of how we've introduced holistic learning to education really stands out. So we are more passionate about developing conscious leaders, and by doing so, it's developing them holistically, emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, and professionally, and of course, intellectually. So thank you for actually elaborating that holistic development the way you highlighted it. So just to highlight, ladies and gentlemen, registrations for 2016 are currently open. And we're excited to announce our early bird offer. So early bird means you can register for 2016 now by paying the 2025 fees. So the application process is very quick and simple. What I will do is I will also share my email address on the chat box. Feel free to send me an email if you need more clarity. All you have to do is complete your online application. You can just go through Regenesis website. There will be a link where you can complete your online application there, submit your supporting documentation. Our student recruitment team is available to guide you to ensuring that your application process is very quick. So we are there as a team to ensure that you receive the necessary support. I think one thing that Dr. Rajesh maybe might have not highlighted that I'd like to highlight is the flexibility that Regenesis offers. So we offer flexible study options. A person can choose between online or in person. That's what they call contact learning, where you will have the option to attend the face-to-face lectures at our campus, which is based in Sandton. So between myself and Dr. Rajesh, we encourage you to take advantage of this incredible offer and begin your MBA journey with Regenesis today. Don't even procrastinate. Remember, leaders aren't born, they're developed. And the MBA is one of the most powerful tools to help you rise, to help you lead and make an impact. I don't know if there's any other questions there. I think we have new questions, Dr. Rajesh, on our Q&A there. Just a sec. I think, no, sorry. We've answered the last question that I see there is from Nadia. Let me share my email address. Colleagues, feel free, please, to send me an email, send me your documentation. If you also would like us to assist, verify your qualifications in order to determine if you are eligible to register for the MBA or not. That's about it from my end. Should we ask Dr. Rajesh if there's any questions?
I think Victor has asked about how much is the registration. And so
did I miss that from Victor? Just a sec. Okay, so we have a once-off application fee of 1,170 that you can pay to get accepted into the program, Victor. So what I can do, I'm going to share my email address. You can send me an email where I can also just share our fee structure with you. The fee structure has different flexible payment options that you can look into, from monthly to semester, annual, and upfront. And also do note, Victor, that we also do support financially. We have our very own in-house financial aid program, which is a very flexible mode that we can discuss with you, where it's an opportunity for you to register for your MBA and pay us later. We all know that finance can be a hindrance. It's one of the biggest challenges, and we have very flexible options that you can look into, and we can just advise accordingly. What's more affordable for you is what will work. My email address again is beatrice.k at regenesis.net. Beatrice.k at regenesis.net. That's my email address. Victor, please feel free to send me an email there. We have another question from Cassius. How strong do you have to be in accounting and financial management to do the MBA, Dr. Rajesh? These are not my strong areas, even though...
Though I've answered to Kasim, I think what we need is the basic skills, because it's not that you are going to develop a financial statement. It's more about, understanding those statements, analyzing it, interpreting it, and that part requires only the basic understanding. Rest, rest is what you understand through this program. So, you only need those basic understanding. Otherwise, everything else, will be discussed, because it's more about interpreting and taking decisions based upon that. That part is covered, what we do. So I think you should not be really worried about it. We have seen so many students, who don't have that strong financial and accounting background, but they do wonderfully well. So.
Okay, thank you for that. We have another question from Cheryl Duplessis. How much support do you get when studying online? This one is for me, Dr. Rajesh. So Cheryl, as highlighted with the online study mode that is also available, we do conduct online sessions for online students. So these online sessions are very, very interactive, because as much as they conducted online, you have an opportunity to still interact and engage with other learners, and of course engage or ask more questions to the facilitator. So the online sessions are structured in a very good way, where you really do get the option to engage. And of course, we also have online tutor support that we offer online students. This is according to the schedule. So once you are registered, or once your registration is complete, you will receive a schedule from our end that will highlight to you when the online tutor support sessions take place. But to answer your question, Cheryl, we really do offer incredible support, and I think it's sufficient support for online students, because we understand it's not easy having to study online. There's another question from Sophie. I hope I've answered your question there, Cheryl. Sophie is asking, is there a specific exam that we have to write in order to be accepted for this program? Another question from George asking, how long is the MBA program? George, the MBA program is offered over a period of 2 years. Sophie, yes, we have an online test. It's called ARMET, Regenesis Management Admission Test, that you will have to do. So the process, as highlighted, once you've done the application online and you've shared the documentation with us, we will also direct or advise on how you are going to do the ARMET test. Once you've done the ARMET test, you will also engage with our passionate academic heads like Dr. Rajesh, who will have conduct a mini interview with you. Once that is done, then we can successfully complete your application. I hope that answers your question, Sophie. George, we are sorted. You know that the maximum period is 5 years, minimum 2 years. And just to highlight, correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Rajesh, the 2-year program, it's irrespective of the study mode, right? Even if they're doing online or content, still 2 years. Okay. How many years does it take? Okay, we've answered that question. Are the online sessions after business hours? Yes, they are. Sorry, there was a question there regarding the online sessions. If they are after working hours, yes, they are after working hours. Even the tutor support sessions that we conduct online, they are after working hours. So I think we've answered all the questions. But like I said, colleagues, if I might have missed anything, do pardon me. Please send me an email. I will ensure that one of our student recruitment advisors connects with you and advises you accordingly. That's about it from my end. Dr. Rajesh, any words of wisdom from your end before we end the session?
No, I would again like to thank everyone, all the delegates, for attending this session, because it's not just about the admission part. We are more concerned about the spreading the knowledge that why is MBA so important. And I think that's really important to understand. And I hope once you understand why is MBA so important, you will definitely choose an institution like Regenesis to enroll. So, but if you have got any further questions, Beatrice has already shared her email. You can contact her, or if you want to have an academic question, I have shared my email ID as well. You can share with me. And thank you so much for attending the session. Hope you enjoyed it, and looking forward, to see you guys at Regenesis. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Let me quickly take the last 2 questions, Dr. Rajesh, just before we end the session. George, please feel free to send me an email. I will be happy to share the fee structure with you. Kulofelo is asking if it's possible to move from online to full-time. Let me just elaborate something there, Ms. Kulofelo, Malokani. You are able to move from online to contact later on. So in terms of you saying, are you able to move from online to full-time? Please note that we don't have full-time, or we don't offer MBA full-time. It's offered part-time, because it's mainly for part-time for people like you and I. Full-time people that are full-time and don't have the time to attend full-time, because full-time will require you to attend every day, which is during the week. So it is part-time. So both online and contact, like I highlighted, it's 2 years. It's offered full-time, part-time, sorry about that. In terms of moving from online to contact later on in the year, yes, you are able to do that. Thank you. I think, is it possible? Okay, no, that's it, sorry. Thank you, Kulofelo, for your question. Applications are opened. Now you know that we have an early bird fee offer that you can actually take advantage of. If there isn't any other comments, any questions, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you once again for joining us on behalf of Regenesis Business School. Be blessed. We look forward to welcoming you to our leadership community very soon. Have a wonderful day and keep rising.